Hello, everybody. Here we are on another Friday, our Soul Aligned Fabulous Friday, and this is Sasha Sabbath, and welcome to you all. So, as you know from those of you who have been following this series, what we do on Fabulous Friday is look at what's fabulous and where we've been throughout the week and where it is that we're going. So, let's begin with the question. What happened for you this week that you think was fabulous? How you handled it? What it is that you brought to the party, so to speak, that had fabulous impacts on others? What it is that you felt was worthy, that you knew you had choices to make, and you chose the light. You chose the higher path, but you chose in a way that you still honored your truth. You didn't play doormat. You didn't play censor yourself. You instead looked at, okay, here we are. I'm at a crossroads. I'm at a threshold. I'm at a tipping point. I have to make a choice. I need to connect with my intuition. I need to know what it is that I can do in this very moment so that it is fabulous. Now, I don't mean to sound hypey or anything like that. However, we all know that we have those moment-to-moment choices. And I would like you to think back over the things that happened that really, really, really were fabulous, that you're proud of yourself, where you knew you dug deep inside yourself in some way, and you showed up, you performed, you calculated, you strategized, and you moved forward in a way that in retrospect, when you think about it, you are really proud of yourself. So what are some of those things? Just think about it. Okay, I got a little thumbs up, so somebody over there acknowledges it. Great, thank you for being here. Now, the other question is, what kind of momentum are you in where you see your light is in fact emerging more and more in your life? And this is what I mean by light. I mean the goodness that you are. I mean the courage, the humanity codes that you live. And for those of you who are not familiar with what I mean by that, that's a term I came up with a while back. And in the unit section of the Light Leader Power for Success and Mission Impact group, in the unit section, there's a whole discussion on the humanity codes. And what I mean by that is you projecting with your thought and with your emotions those aspects that fuel, that fund, that uplift, that empower, that bring forth the thriving of humanity. That means not just the human species, but it means other species. It means the planet, the air, the water. It means affirming life, as opposed to the things that are happening in our country and in the world that is on the rise, which is mongered by hate and fear. Now, that's not going negative, and it's not going political for me to say that. It's fact. That's what's happening. However, at the same time, as that is rising up, so is the light, and that is where you come in. So, in bringing forth your understanding of how you are broadcasting more and more light, you are channeling, you are funneling, you are choosing more and more light. What does that mean to you? Now, it doesn't mean that you negate your emotions if you're angry, if you're upset, if you're afraid, if you are, well, those are pretty much the umbrella emotions of what the point is that I'm making. If you are living a life that is just not what you want, those emotions of stress and frustration, well, in those moments, I'm not saying for you to disregard those. I'm saying, what in those moments can you do to fill yourself up with light and to bring light to the situation? So I'd like you to now think back on this week, our fabulous Friday week in review, and look at what happened where you know without a doubt you brought light to the situation. So I'm going to be quiet while you think about that. And, feel free to write in the thread at some point, whether it's the live stream or if it is the replay, what it is that happened where in your heart of hearts, you brought light. Okay. And those are the kinds of things for you to be thinking about as you move along in the upcoming weeks, so that you're able to start filtering. You start to sort for, is what they call it in neurolinguistic programming, where you are gearing your filters to look for certain things. And what I'm going to invite you to do in these upcoming weeks is for you to filter and sort for where you bring light, where you bring your truth, and where you bring your spiritual power of light. And also those moments where you're confronted, you're challenged, you're hit with something very bad maybe, or you are in a situation where you feel the tension and the stress, and you know that what is at hand is problematic. But still in the midst of that, you are choosing your light, your truth, your decisions, where you rise up. You can rise up in anger. You can rise up in fear. That's not the issue. The issue is what goes on inside of you, so that those emotions don't deteriorate you, but rather they fuel you while you are buoyed on a platform of light. So these are some things for you to contemplate, even after this Facebook Live. So that was our week in review. Now, let's take a look at what's happening next week, what's happening tonight, what's happening tomorrow. And think about who are you going to be in the matter? Are you going to dwell in old behaviors? Are you going to go to that which is familiar, but it's not the greatest expression of light of who you are? Are you going to recraft yourself? Are you going to reinvent yourself? Are you going to reevaluate yourself? And are you going to do something differently that is more of the you want to be? So that if we fast forward to next Friday, and I'm asking you the same question, what do you want to celebrate for the week that we just had? You'll have some new answers. So when you listen to the replay, I do suggest that you think about what I'm saying. And here's the thing, for those of you who don't know me, you might want to have a conversation with me. And in this description of the post here, I have a survey where you can apply for us to have a soul success activation session. It's a no-cost opportunity for you and I to get together so I can know more about what's going on in your world, personally and professionally. And what you will come away with is a clearer understanding of what is really blocking your success, your happiness, your joy, the things that you really want to manifest in your life. What is the soul alignment that is a little off? Or a truth that you don't yet know to grasp about what is really at the agenda of your soul? And then we will come up with an action plan and what you can do moving forward, which might include you and I working together. So we'll see. So just look for that application link. You'll see it. It says Survey Monkey, and we will go from there. So that is the week of review. That's a little tickler for what you can look for into the future. Now let's get into some new content. First of all, I want to say that I'm dedicating this particular Facebook Live to two beings that are in spirit right now. They're both dogs. I'm getting choked up. I am dedicating this Facebook Live to actually 3 pit bulls. One is a dog named Samson, who was a very great leader, a great monarch of his own in his home. Another is Mama Susu, who was the crime buster of her family with situations that they were dealing with. And also, I dedicate this Facebook Live to my beloved Echo, who is also in spirit, because she taught me how to love. And these are all pit bulls. And why I'm bringing this up is because what I want to focus on in this Facebook Live is what it is to be a certain nature that is misunderstood, a certain understanding of carriage and nature, and just being true to oneself as pit bulls are until they are influenced and hurt. And now I want to extrapolate that into something that has to do with a topic that you know that I have talked about many times in this series, because the purpose of this series is to bring forth the persona and the embodiment of what it is to be a light leader. A light leader is someone who does live by the humanity codes. A light leader is somebody who knows their truth, works to be very attuned with their intuition, has a standard of how they treat themselves and how they treat others, and who have the courage, the compassion, the commitment to bring forth the truth of who they are no matter what. This means in business, and this means in personal life. This means that there is a self-reflection process that is pretty much always happening. As we reflect upon, am I being true to the light? Is this what a light leader is? Is this what a light leader does? And whose life am I impacting? Who am I modeling for? Whose life would I be touching? The reason that I am dedicating this Facebook Live to these 3 dogs is because they rose up when the need was there, and they were cut down in their own way. But their spirit and their impact on their humans lives on. And it is with them in our hearts that I speak about these very important principles. As a light leader, we might be hidden, we might be invisible, and nobody really knows what we're up to. But we know, because we need to choose how much of our light we will let others see. And we also need to know that our light will bring out the darkness, and we have to be prepared for that. The darkness in terms of events, people's behaviors, people's agendas. And unless we're able to be equipped to meet that darkness, we really should not put ourselves in situations that we cannot in some way know in our heart of hearts we can mitigate. So with that in mind, I want to teach you 2 exercises that have to do with the work that I do with my clients and students and audiences. These are psychic, intuitive, and energy transmutation skills that are geared to up-level your energy, raise your vibration, and help to diffuse the darkness. Here's how the darkness appears. If it is darkness was living inside yourself, it's all that negative self-talk. It's all that default to anger and rage and blame and God knows what else. However, anger and rage have a place. If the truth and if fairness and if justice, so to speak, are being hurt and condemned and persecuted, then those emotions become life-affirming to motivate you and mobilize you and catalyze you. However, if it's just, the cup half empty, the same old, only you know the difference. Now, you can still have that anger and that rage, but it is not something that is your default persona. It becomes instead a tool for you to use those emotions as messengers to let you know the danger and the problem that is at hand. If you bring light to that situation, you will still be able to be responsive and responsible to what is happening, but you will not be consumed by the downward pull of rage and anger and revenge and those kinds of emotions. It's a slippery slope. It's very tricky. It's so unique for everybody. I'm asking you to just hear what I'm saying And then after this is over, from time to time, just contemplate on what I'm saying. And if you have any questions, just contact me. We can have a soul success activation session. Now, the darkness within could be our thoughts, our beliefs, our behaviors, our habits, our karma. Darkness from and out is, well, take a look at what's going on in the country, okay? There's a rise of hatred, there's a rise of bigotry, racism, all kinds of attacks on different persuasions of various beliefs. And so we are faced with this, and the key is, what can we do about it? Energy follows thought. So we start with energy, and this is what I want to teach you today. If you're in a situation and you are aware of, you are privy to, whether it's through the news or it's happening right in your living room or your backyard or your neighbor's backyard, where there is danger and hurt and fear, then what you can do is to, now this is going to sound simplistic, so I'm warning you, it's not. It really works, because it is a message that you're giving to your subconscious mind. And what I would like you to do is to imagine that there is a large rose, maybe 3 yards in height, 3 yards in dimension, diameter. And this rose starts at the top of your head, and it works around your entire body, including underneath your feet. And it acts as a sponge. It acts as a vacuum cleaner. It acts to completely absorb all of the negativity that is surrounding you, that you have somehow found yourself in. And depending upon the situation that you're facing, you may need to blow up that rose and replace it with a fresh rose. Your intuition will let you know. Now, you can say to me, Sasha, you have got to be kidding. This is like kindergarten. I cannot believe there is any power in what you're saying. It is a message to your subconscious mind that then clicks in with your divine self. And the message that it states is, I take control of my energy space. I choose the energy that I surround myself with. I choose to command my vibration. And I choose to absorb the darkness and the negativity out of my energy field, and instead to fill up with light, to fill in those vacuous areas that have been cleared out by this rose acting as a magnet. You might even see a lot of darkness, a lot of grayness coming out of your energy field as this rose starts at the top of your head and then spirals around all the way down until it's under your feet. And then you blow it up in your mind's eye, and it just gets brought into the earth, sucked into the earth. So the actual pattern goes like this. You set the intention that you want to clean out of your aura all of the debris, the darkness, the feelings, the emotions that you do not want to have, the results of bad experiences that have taken place, that either have happened to you directly or that you are aware of. And you are just taking all of that energy out of your space. And you are blowing it up, disintegrating it, so that it can then be transmuted. Energy never can be destroyed. It can be transmuted. And the way that you transmute it is you drop it into the earth for the earth energy to heal it, transform it into goodness and goodwill. Into goodness and goodwill. And then you've got this vacuum and you have to fill it up. And what you do is what I've taught in previous Facebook Lives, on the Fabulous Friday Facebook Lives, and that is to imagine that there is a huge funnel that sits on top of your head, where the point, the V point of the funnel is right at the center or top of your head, and then the rest of the V just expands all the way up into the heavens. And you ask from your heart, that divine, pure, high-frequency, healing God force of light and love pours in through the top of your head, filling you up the way water gets poured into a glass. so that there are no gaping holes. You are filling yourself up with divine light. So imagine that you are in the throes of something challenging. It could be work related, it could be personally related, it could be mission related. You could be watching the news and hearing the lies and seeing the things that are happening and seeing people taking a stand for their right to a quality life. And you have all that stuff now sitting in your aura and you're starting to feel bad. Your emotions are starting to deflate. You're starting to wilt. That is your sign to say, okay, I'm aware of what's happening, but I am not going to wear this energy. I am not going to carry this energy. And then you take out that rose, that beautiful, huge rose, and you start circulating it around your aura like a vacuum cleaner, like a sponge, like a magnet. It goes all the way around your aura, underneath your feet, and you just pop it up. You imagine that it explodes and it goes deep into the earth. And it's transmuted into what? Into goodness and goodwill. Yes. And then you place that beautiful funnel from the divine, and the divine energy moves in through the top of your head like an elixir, like a sweet distillation of God's love and light. And it completely fills you up to the tips of your nose, your toes, your chin, your ears, your fingers. You're completely filled with light. And that is one technique for you. So the way that you can use this is just start to get very aware of your emotional state. You could be in a happy, positive, inspired, focused mood, and then all of a sudden you're losing energy. Why? You may not know why. Just take out your rose and start moving around your energy field the way I taught you. I'm going to speak a little bit more about, let's see, how do I want to say this? About standing for the light and standing in the light. So there's a lot going on right now in terms of our own personal paths where our souls are expanding. We want more. We see aspects of our life that we really just want changed. And no matter what we do, it just doesn't stop, whatever it is. It could be something at work. It could be something where if you own your own business, you're doing all the right things in the right way. You're investing in yourself with coaches and healers and consultants, but it's just not happening. It's because there's something in you that is trying to get healed, that your higher self wants you to uncover. It could be a belief system, it could be a habit pattern, it could be a karma that you came into this lifetime with. You could have absorbed something from other people, your family of origin, and it's not yours, but you have owned it. And so I'm going to give you this next exercise, which is extremely powerful. And what this is I'd like you to imagine a large web of light, a divine spider web of light. And you're going to place this divine spider web like a ball of light completely around you, where you are in the center. And at the base of this spider web, dynamic, pulsing, throbbing, electrical, divine template of woven light is a tube that goes right at the bottom. And this tube of light goes right into the earth. The way that you tossed that rose after you blew it up into the earth, same thing here. You are in limbo. You are dangling in the middle of this great, dynamic, divine, spiritual God force of love and light, tapestry, spider web of light. And at the bottom, underneath your feet, is a large, what they call a grounding cord. And for you, just know it as a tube of light that extends down deep into the earth. And again, in the center of the earth, it gets transmuted into what? Goodness and goodwill. Yeah. Now, this web of light acts as a frequency conductor. So, as ill will, that which does not affirm life, that which is against the humanity codes, that which is against life thriving, anything that falls into that range of darkness, it hits up against that web of light and it disintegrates. It cannot live once it makes contact with this sphere of light. This sphere of light is a container created by angels and spirit guides and archangels and hierarchies of God's messengers. This is a religion-free zone. I don't care who it is you follow. Whatever you believe are the highest messengers of the God force. That's who governs, controls, monitors, blesses this tapestry of light. And this darkness that comes into the sphere, it gets transmuted. It could bounce back and go back to the senders, and or it can go right into that grounding core, deep into the earth, to be transmuted into what? Goodness and goodwill. And this tapestry, this ball of light, continues to be activated and fed and repaired if necessary by that same funnel that I mentioned before. And so you're going to see at the very top of this tapestry of light a funnel where the point attaches at the top of the spider web ball of light, and it is completely saturated like a waterfall of divine love and light that pours down through the top of that ball of light, and it washes like a shower, like a waterfall, all the dark, dense energies down through the grounding cord, or again, it gets bounced, it gets expunged, it gets ejected, rejected, pushed out, back to the sender or senders. Now, let's say you're going to be in a meeting. Could be work, could be something else having to do with your mission, whatever. Could be your family. You can put this container, this template of light all around all of you, all of your allies, all of your coworkers, all of your friends, so that they are in the protection and in the blessing of this divine force. And all this divine energy flows through the top of your head, and it flushes out any of the beliefs, any of the agendas, any of the darknesses that show up just by the fact that we're human and we're here growing. However, to get the cohesiveness of the group, and so that the group can resonate at the highest vibration, this template, spider web of divine love and light, encases and encapsulates and cocoons all of you as a group, as a cohesive group. So you all are in sync. And if anybody isn't, somehow something's going to happen. And that person is not going to be able to stay in this circuit because their vibration is off from the greater good of the group. Again, it could be a meeting at work. It could be mission driven with regards to something else that you're involved with. You'll know what it is. Naturally, you'll know what it is. So what this exercise does is it sucks out, it draws out like, what's the word? A poultice. It acts like a poultice, drawing out the infection, drawing out that which is not in sync with your soul. It draws out that which will not serve your greater good. It goes down the grounding cord, or, as I've said, it gets thrust back to the senders. Both of these exercises, the rose and now this spider web of divinity. It's a spider web of blessing and divinity. Both of these exercises are funded and reactivated and catalyzed and repaired, if necessary, again, by that funnel that sits on top of it, that brings in, by your declaration, the highest forces of love and above, the highest forces of love and light. Now, what this is going to do is it's going to help you to heal your body faster. It will help you to heal emotional wounds, even things that have happened early in your life or even in past lives. If you do this as a diligent exercise, healings will take place. So that is what I wanted to teach you today. And for those of you who want more and you want to talk to me, just go ahead and fill out that form that's there, or you can contact me by email at info@entrepreneursoulcoach.com. That's entrepreneur soul, SOUL coach, COACH.com. And we'll have a conversation. One of the things that I'm featuring for this month is for people who are really interested in deep, fast, cut to the chase improvement in their personal life, in their professional life, in their strategizing for anything that might be a project that they're working on, where we spend a virtual day together, 6 hours together, where we're going to look at everything, and your spirit guides and higher self and soul will talk to my spirit guides, my higher self, my soul, as to what is the most critical, compelling, and strategic for you to address so that you can have greater happiness, greater success, greater abundance, prosperity, health, and to go for the goodness that is your right. So just go ahead and contact me. My name is Sasha Sabbath, and I send you my love. God bless. Mwah. My favorite part is this last kiss. Goodbye, everybody. Invite your friends next time. Bye for now.